Hi, Maria here. Welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk about some new releases. So we've got releases from Ellis, Brooklyn, Kayali, Charlotte Tilbury, so many other ones. And there's 4 that I want to specifically concentrate on that I've tried on skin, but then there's other ones that I've sniffed, and I want to give you just my general overall thoughts briefly about some of the other ones. And I will go into depth more as I get more familiar with them if you're interested in that. But before I get started, if you haven't subscribed, just go ahead and hit that button. Join the Weird and Wonderful family. It would be amazing to have you part of the community. And let's get into this. So the first one that I want to talk about is by Kayali. It's their hyped up release. All of Kayali's releases, honestly, are so hyped up. She's just amazing. Like, their marketing campaigns are fantastic. They reel you in. They're colorful. They're beautiful. They're genius, honestly. So I really, really appreciate that about Kayali. Like, it's just fun. She's created an excellent brand, like, from a fun perspective and all of that. Just such good marketing. But anyway, the new release is Vanilla Candy Rock Sugar 42. So that means they did 42 passes, 42 different versions until they got it just perfect. Now, this one opens with vanilla, pear, marshmallow, rum, violet leaves, and ylang ylang. The middle notes are bubblegum, jelly bean, jasmine, caramel, and labdanum. And the base notes are sugar, patchouli, vetiver, cashmere wood, tonka wood, and sandalwood. Now, to start with, the cult favorite is, of course, Vanilla 28. That one I was never a really major fan of. I think it's a very nice vanilla, but vanillas in me are a little bit tricky. I love Vanilla Royale sugared patchouli. Just love that. It's a deep, dark, sensual, sexy vanilla that I love in the cooler weather. That one's just stellar. For me, Vanilla 28 is very brown sugar oriented. So although it's nice, I find it a little bit cloying for me. It just doesn't agree with me. So nice fragrance. I know lots of women love it, but for me, that vanilla profile isn't my favorite. Now, this new one, Vanilla Candy Rock Sugar, I've worn it twice. So put it on my skin twice, really doused myself the second time, and I am in love with this one. I get vanilla, but there's so much more going on, and to me, it does smell like candy. I love this one. So you get the candy vibe, you get the sugary vibe. It feels light and airy and happy, and it's just delicious. I love the pear in it, and I know that on Fragrantica, lots of people have been saying it smells like La Belle. It does have a similarity to La Belle, just slightly. So I can see the comparison, but it's like a lighter, brighter, happier version. This fragrance to me it's yummy by itself, like, and I enjoyed wearing it the whole entire time, but I also think that this would make a fantastic layering fragrance. And I know Kayali is always about their layering. This one to me it would be amazing with so many things. I can see putting it with the Utopia one. I can see it putting it with any of the sparkling, like Eden Sparkling Apple, Eden Sparkling Lychee. Just like, it's such like Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper. With this one, it would just add a sugary component. So you'd get the sultry rose, woody feel, but then with this bright, sugar on top, that would be so intoxicating. It would be amazing to me with something like Coco Vanille from Mancera, putting it with something like La Nuit Trésor Nude, which has a coconut, putting it with peach, any fruity fragrance, like the list goes on. And what I love about this one is I feel like it's got a bit of a sparkling quality. So it's flirty, it's happy, it's sugary, but it's done in a way that's complex. So there's a lot of different things going on there, and I feel like it doesn't get boring as a result. So I just love this one. I feel like it's vivacious and just happy. Definitely one I am adding to my collection. I am hoping to get it for Mother's Day. But yes, I love it. Like always, there's lots of different opinions. You've got to like that sugary, bright, candy-esque gourmand. I thought I was getting sick of the sweet, but then I smelt this and I'm like, no, I still love sweet. And it's girly, it's happy, it's fun, it's flirty, but it's not something where it's like if you're 65, you couldn't wear it. Like, I don't care what age you're at. This fragrance is just a fun wear. So I love it. It's definitely worth the hype in my opinion. It's one of my favorite from the line. I love the Utopia one, Utopia Cocoa. I can never remember the names, but anyway, love that one. I love Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper. I love Eden Juicy Apple. There's so many nice ones in this line. This one is just so beautiful. And I can see pairing this, if you want to add a little bit more brightness, a little bit more sugary component to any fragrance, it would be fantastic. To me, this is a great staple to have because you can add it to so many different things. Like I want to add this to Ellis Le Parfum. So that one is orange blossom, honey, and cedar. So it's really classy, a little bit mature, a little bit sophisticated. And I can see adding something like this to it to just completely make it come alive. So I'm so pumped. And yes, totally worth the hype in my opinion. Now, the next one that I tried that I don't think is quite as hyped up, it's a new release though, is Issey Miyake's Low Dissy Solar Violet. Now, the notes that are listed here are pear, violet, and iris. Now, I thought it was interesting. I was really excited about this one because I love Low Dissy Rose and Rose. I love the rose, the kind of aquatic aspect. I love the sugary raspberry that's in it. I just think it's a stellar fragrance. So I was really, really excited to try the Solar Violet. I still got that Low Dissy DNA. So the Low Dissy DNA to me is aquatic, slightly sweet, a little bit airy, a little bit musky. That's kind of the DNA to me of the Low Dissys. So I get that in Rose and Rose. I did get that absolutely in Solar Violet, but definitely got the violet and I got the iris. For me, I thought it was really nice. If you're a violet and iris fan, I would highly recommend checking this one out. It's a gorgeous fragrance. You still get that aquatic kind of musky, just relaxed feeling. Instead of getting rose and raspberry, I'm getting violet, primarily violet and pear. And the pear is very under the violet. So I definitely get more violet. There's still that sweet component. It's a gorgeous fragrance. I don't think that I will purchase that one because I already have Rose and Rose and I prefer Rose and Rose over the violet one. I like the raspberry over the pear, but I really, really enjoy the violet in it. I like where it goes. It's a very pleasant, easy reach fragrance. So I can see this one being great for just an easy reach for spring and summer for sure. Would work really well in the office. It's beautiful. So if you are a fan of the Low Dissy line and you love violet, I highly recommend checking it out. Definitely worth a sniff. I don't quite understand the solar aspect of it. I didn't really get that. It does feel kind of just relaxing and yeah, like a Low Dissy. So definitely a great release. I'm not going to purchase it, but if you love violet and you're wanting something like that, the violet and iris definitely are very present in this, especially the violet. So definitely worth a sniff for sure. The next one that I tried is Miami Nectar by Ellis Brooklyn. First of all, the bottle, I love the color of that bottle. I love the Ellis Brooklyn bottles. I just think that they're very, very cool. Now this has coconut water, pineapple, palm leaf in the top notes. The middle notes are frangipani, wild jasmine, lily of the valley, and the base is vanilla, driftwood, amberwood, and moss. Now, the first thing that I'll say is when I'm looking for a new fragrance or when I smell a new fragrance, I always think from a perspective of, have I smelt it before? Does it smell similar to things that I know? Do I enjoy the scent profile? All those different things. To me, it definitely lives up to its name. So it does smell like Nectar. So there is that Nectar quality. It's reminiscent in the florals to me to something like a Dolce Garden. So it has that kind of nectar-like floral in it, especially because of the frangipani, I think. I was hoping for more pineapple. What I got a lot of is the coconut water and the palm leaf. Now, the thing about coconut water that's cool is that it's much more light and refreshing, feels fresh, as opposed to coconut flesh or coconut milk that's a lot more creamy and rich and dense. This feels light and airy and fresh. So I definitely got that. Definitely, I noticed the palm leaf. There's very much a green coconut water component to this. So I don't mind the coconut water, but I do find it smells very, very fresh, and I'm not always a fan of the fresh. So it could have been that I tried it when it was colder, but this one just, it didn't make me go, wow. It ends up feeling like, you know how some of the fresh aquatic-y type summer fragrances, they can almost have like a chemical feel to them. That's what I felt with this one. I can see a lot of people really enjoying this one. It just wasn't for me. It goes way too almost aftershave-y feeling on my skin. So I really enjoyed the opening. Definitely like that nectar, but as soon as the greenness and the coconut water comes out, it's just not my favorite scent profile. That said, I can see a lot of people really, really enjoying that freshness. Kind of reminds me of something like a coconut fizz. I get a lot of that coconut water and palm leaf. So that was what I noticed the most. Lots of people noticed the pineapple and the juiciness, and it reminded them of a Bath and Body Works spray to begin with. In fact, across the board, that's what people said. And then as it dries down, it settles and gets a lot nicer. So that's what most people found. For me, it's a nice enough fragrance. I can see a lot of people really liking it. It just isn't for me. So from that perspective, not worth the hype, but I definitely think you should sniff it. Basically, I think you should sniff everything. Like, even if it's stinky, it's worth sniffing, because who doesn't enjoy just a tinge of stink every once in a while? Like, I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure everyone enjoys smelling something that's a little ratchet. So whether it stinks or whether it smells amazing, you should always sniff it. If given the opportunity, sniff for sure. The next one I want to talk about that I tried on the skin was the Jackie Aina. She's released the Forever Mood. So it's 4 fragrances that she released at once. And it's the yellow one that is called Hard to Get. Now, I sniffed all of them. And honestly, like, they all kind of remind me of just happy designer fragrances. So they're nice. They're all mass appealing. Nothing too complex about them. That said, Hard to Get, I really, really enjoyed it. It really reminded me of like a Dolce & Gabbana Devotion or a Lyra. Like, it's that that lemon vanilla combo. You can never go wrong with a lemon vanilla. Like, honestly, you can never go wrong with it. So I really, really enjoyed this one. The main notes that are listed are jasmine, vanilla, and lemon. To me, like I said, it smells like anything like a Lyra or like a Devotion. This, I really did enjoy the jasmine in it. I enjoyed the lemon. It's bright, it's juicy, it's fun. It dries down quite vanillic. The longevity is moderate. Like all the longevities on all these fragrances for the most part are moderate in my opinion. That said, this one is really fun. I really enjoyed it. I think it's a solid release. None of the other ones were overly remarkable. I want to try them all on my skin. That said, they're all really great fragrances, but I'm always looking for something that's a little bit different, something that adds something new to my collection. So I've got quite a few of the lemon vanilla combos. If I were to go, like right now, I've got Dolce Devotion, excellent lemon vanilla. I have Lyra, love that one. The next 2 that I'd want to get, because I actually love them both, is Acro Bake. Love Acro Bake, and I love Unknown Pleasures. So those 2 would be ones that I would want before I bought this one. But if you're wanting something with a decent price point, I think these are 105 Canadian for 50 mils, which is pretty darn reasonable. So love the fragrance, not going to purchase it because I've got enough of those in my collection, but definitely, again, worth a sniff. I guess the other thing about the Jackie Aina collection is that I'm not a huge fan of the bottles. I don't know why. Like, I guess they remind me of the bright crystal bottles. To me, the collection looks a little bit juvenile somehow. So, like, I'm not saying that they are juvenile. I'm not saying, and like, I appreciate the fact that she's created them. For me, my personal taste, they're not my taste. I can see a lot of people liking them. Whereas the Kayali bottles, I think that they're beautiful. So this collection, I think overall is a nice collection. I think that there's something for everybody in it. The one that I specifically really enjoyed, so out of all of the ones that I smelled, that was the one I wanted to put on the skin. Love it. Like, it really is delicious. So it's a delicious, delectable lemon vanilla. You can't go wrong with it. It's an easy reach. It will be great for spring and summer. Like, seriously, it's a great fragrance. But I just have enough of those in my collection for now that I would pass on it. Down the road, maybe I would purchase it because it really is a great fragrance in my opinion. Tell me if you've tried any of these. Now, the Charlotte Tilbury line, oh my goodness, the bottles are absolutely spectacular. The thing that I really appreciated about them, and I can't speak to one in particular, there's a lot in the collection. I sniffed all of them and they were all interesting. All of them felt a little bit more niche-y. I thought that they were neat because they smelled kind of a little bit herbal to me. So like they had lavender in them, there's some pepper, saffron, different things like that. With 6 fragrances, there's definitely something for everybody, but these are definitely ones that are not safe blind buys. Where the Kayali and the Jackie Aina fragrances are mass appealing and relatively safe blind buys, the Charlotte Tilburys are definitely not safe blind buys at all. But again, really interesting and definitely worth a sniff. I think it's really important too when you're trying a new fragrance that you try it on your skin. So to smell it on a card is not going to do it. So even fragrances that I'm like, it's not for me, inevitably I will go in and try it on the skin because it's amazing how a fragrance will shift with your own body chemistry. So it's a solid, crazy amount of excitement as far as new releases are concerned. And it's definitely worth heading to Sephora or wherever you can get your nose on these fragrances and trying them. What about you? What are the fragrances that you're super pumped about? I would love to know. If you've tried any of these fragrances, please weigh in and let me know what you think. I would love to know what your opinions are. Definitely hyped up for good reason as far as I'm concerned. That said, the one that I will definitely be purchasing is the Vanilla Candy Rock Sugar. Definitely want to get that one. Even though it's a little bit like La Belle, it's definitely different enough, and it'll be so much fun to layer. So I love that one. What about you? What is your favorites? Leave it in the comments. And other than that, I hope you have an amazing week, and we'll talk to you soon.